Welcome to Concordance and Coffee. I am your host, and I'm so glad you could join me today.
Go out. We making disciples. Go out, make disciples. The light will make disciples. Go out, make disciples. The light will make
Today, we're going to break down the word silence or keep silence, understanding it from the Hebrew, translating to the Greek, so you can get the concept, construct in English, so you can walk it out and live it. Let me get my cup of coffee, get your favorite tea, coffee, and let's break this down. Silence. Strong's number H2814 in the Hebrew. What does silence means and the blessing in silence? And it is related. Same Strong's number that we saw with the word wait and waiting. Be silent, be quiet, inactive. I know in your situation, people want you to be active. You need to do this. You need to do that. Try this. You reaching for straws and nothing is working because maybe God is having you in this season, in this time, to be silent, which means to be still, be inactive, exhibit silence, show inactivity, be inactive. It don't make sense, but this is what God does. He often will place you in isolation, seated in silence while he rearranges, restructures, and does everything, and then elevates and presents you, and you didn't do it. So the praise and the glory goes to God for what he did because you were sitting in silence. Ecclesiastes 3:7 said, there's a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silent, and a time to speak. And see, the thing is, people always want you to speak when things look bad, adversity, calamity. What happened? Tell me, explain. No. Oftentimes when you try to explain and articulate the situation, you make it worse. Therefore, just be silent. And people should understand that. The people who don't are just being nosy. They just want to see the accident. They just want to have something that they can further dig you into the hole that becomes a pit because you keep talking about it. When God is saying, hold your peace. Psalms 39:2. I was dumb with silence. I held my peace. See, you look dumb. We talked about that in the word wait. Its relation to looking dumb. You look dumb in your situation. You look dumb not talking about it. You look dumb not giving all these explanations. And then you end up becoming exhausted, trying to, conflate what you think is reality and what's not, and what had happened, and see this. And no, all of that just drains all your energy. God wants you to focus on what his instructions are and sit and calmness, and don't sin with your mouth. Psalms 39:1-4, David talks about, I will heed to my ways, that I sin not with my tongue, with my mouth. I will keep my mouth with a bridle. I'll keep my mouth closed while the wicked is before me. See, I know from personal experience, when you're going through different situations and circumstance, the wicked will show up and they will be all in your business. People you didn't know were wicked will reveal themselves. The mask will come off and you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't know. And God's like, yes, I was trying to tell you. Now I'm going to show you, because they always show up in adversity. The wicked show up, and you would have thought these were your best friends. These people were so good. Yeah, until they thought it was over. And then they showed up and their true selves showed out. And God is like, just be silent. Just be silent. Just be silent. Wait, play dumb, grow dumb. Just be still. Watch. Let God work. Let God cook. He will handle it. He says in 1 Samuel 2:9, he will keep the feet of his saints and the wicked shall be silenced. He's going to flip it. When God astonishes them with how he delivers you from this, all the talk, they going to be silent in darkness. Because by the strength of Elohim, no man shall prevail. Nobody's going to prevail. So you just got to just sit silent.
Let's go from the Hebrew, Greek to English.
Okay, as we look at this word silence, there are 8 different Hebrew words that explain silence, and then there's 3 Greek words that are related to silence. For the will of God is as follows. In the Greek, it's talking about by doing good to silence the ignorance of foolish people. God silence the ignorance of foolish people. All you have to do is sit still and be silent. There's profoundness in silence. As we see in Revelation 8:1, when Jesus opened up the 7th seal, there was silence for over a half an hour. Because before God moves and works, there's often silence before things happen. And so we have to learn to trust God in the silence. So let's look at this. We got this understanding in the Hebrew and Greek: silence, rest. It says, only for God my soul waits in the silence from him in my salvation. The salvation that is going to come in your situation. Even though in Lamentations 3:53, they have silenced me in a pit and thrown stones at you. That's what happens. But you can't lash back, crash out, try to fight back. You have to rest and trust in silence, in Elohim, in God. So don't do the loose talk, as Job 11:3, with your mouth, even though they mocking you and talking you to shame. It is to our advantage to remain grounded and rooted in God by remaining silent. Only for God my soul waits in silence. From him is my salvation. Psalm 62:1. So understand silence, waiting, when this all comes to pass through the process of time.
Be still, even though everything looking crazy, God gonna save me. Be still, standing on his word. It doesn't matter what they said, what you heard. Peace, be still, God's will. Be still. God is so much to say, but I ain't saying it. I'm praying it, relating it in tears. This is like space. I'm holding peace like the big joker. When it's play, I'm riding out like Paul Revere. Before God shows out, I must stay near. In his presence, learning lessons.